Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Rogan, Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. You love Donald Trump. That's why you watching me. Most people that watch me love Donald Trump. If you don't, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think the world of Joe Rogan. I think he's an incredibly smart guy. I love his podcast.
Yep.
You know, I never watch his comedic shows, but the last one he did that I just saw, I thought it was good. And some of y'all don't like Joe Rogan.
Pod is indubitably dope. Yes.
I love his podcast. You know, I never watch his comedic shows, but the last one he did that I just saw, I thought it was good.
J.R.
Some of y'all don't like Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan Experience.
Joe Rogan and Donald Trump.
Joe Rogan Experience. Joe Rogan Experience Pod. The Joe Rogan Experience Pod.
Oh, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think the world of Joe Rogan. I think he's an incredibly smart guy. I love his podcast.
Yep.
You know, I never watch his comedic shows, but the last one he did that I just saw.
The Gaines interview was dope. Very dope. She's yeah. The things she said. Yeah. What she went through was crazy, bro. She should not have went through that at the University of Kentucky. Yeah. What Leah Thomas did was indubitably goofy, bro. Indubitably goofy.
I thought it was good. I love his podcast. You know, I never watch his comedic shows, but the last one he did that I just saw, I thought it was good. And some of y'all don't like Joe Rogan. You're entitled to your own opinion.
Yep.
But let me say this about the Joe Rogan and Donald Trump conflict. If you're not familiar, Donald Trump is upset with Joe Rogan because of this clip. Now, I'm going to play the clip for you guys so you can see, and then we're going to get into who do I think is right and wrong in this scenario. Before I get to that video, I want to tell you guys about our sponsor. Go and support the sponsors that support conservatives. Let's get to this video real quick, bro.
That's just what they do. That's politics. They do it on the left, they do it on the right. They gaslight you.
Not all, but not all do it, but a plenitude of lefties and a plenitude of righties do it. Yes. But not all Dems do it. And not all Repubs do it. But a plenitude of people in both camps do it. Yes.
I want to support the sponsors that support conservatives. Let's get to this video.
We cannot.
That's just what they do.
That's
politics.
They
do it on the left, they do it on the right. They gaslight you, they manipulate you,
we
they
cannot
promote narratives.
Make blanket statements. We cannot make blanket statements.
Support the sponsors that support conservatives. Let's get to this video real quick, bro.
That's just what they do. That's politics. They do it on the left, they do it on the right. They gaslight you, they manipulate you, they promote narratives.
Yeah.
And the only one who's not doing that is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
You a fan?
Yeah, I am a fan. Yeah, he's the only one that makes sense to me. He's the only one that he doesn't attack people.
He won't win.
Actions and ideas.
He doesn't
but he's
have
he's
a
much more
chance
peaceful and intelligent
of winning. You have to be in either of in the blue party or the red party as a candidate. You have to be in either the blue party or the red party as a candidate to increase your chances of winning the presidency. To increase, if you want to increase your chances of winning the presidency, you have to be in either the blue or red party. Facts.
Narratives. And the only one who's not doing that is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You a fan? Yeah, I am a fan. Yeah, he's the only one that makes sense to me. He's the only one that he doesn't attack people. He attacks actions and ideas, but he's much more reasonable and intelligent. I mean, the guy was an environmental attorney and cleaned up the East River. He's a legitimate guy. You know, before anybody started calling him an anti-vaxxer, which I thought he was too. I thought he was just nut, this like conspiracy theorist nut, until I read his book. I read The Real Anthony Fauci.
Albeit RFK Jr. is not the worst candidate. Albeit RFK Jr. is not the worst candidate of the three, DJT, Kamala, and RFK Jr. He doesn't have a chance of winning the presidency. He doesn't have a chance of winning the presidency. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a chance of winning the presidency. Unfortunately. Facts.
And what?
Unfortunately. He doesn't have a chance of winning the presidency. Unfortunately. You gotta be rooted in reality, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, you gotta be rooted in reality. 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 You must be rooted in reality. You must be rooted in reality.
He's much more reasonable and intelligent. I mean, the guy was an environmental attorney and cleaned up the East River. He's a legitimate guy. You know, before anybody started calling him an anti-vaxxer, which I thought he was too. I thought he was just a nut, this like conspiracy theorist nut, until I read his book. I read The Real Anthony Fauci, and I'm like, what is it? How much of this is real? Because if it's all real, this is
DJT is the best
by these health organizations that
option
are being
in
paid
my
by the pharmaceutical drug
candid
industries. And these pharmaceutical drug
opinion.
companies are
DJT.
pumping these products out into the population and telling us that we need them, and
Don.
then making insane amounts of money. And then also the government is in on it. And also I read The Real Anthony Fauci, and I'm like, what? So, which I thought he was too. I thought he was just a nut. He's he's a legitimate guy. You know, before anybody started calling him an anti-vaxxer, which I thought he was too. I thought he was just a nut, this like conspiracy theorist nut, until I read his book. I read The Real Anthony Fauci.
F-A-F.
How much of this is real? Because if it's all real, this is, and we live in a world where we're being manipulated by these health organizations that are being paid by the pharmaceutical drug interests.
Yep.
And these pharmaceutical drug companies are pumping these products out into the population and telling us that we need them, and then making insane amounts of money.
Yes.
And then
Rapacious.
also the government is in on it, and also they share a patent
In
with Moderna,
cahoots.
and also they share profits, and there's $700 million, 700. I mean, however much money was made, whatever the number is that these guys made off of these products, like this is all of it. There's the revolving door between the CDC and the FDA and then these pharmaceutical drug companies. So the people that make the regulations then go on to have these cushy jobs with the pharmaceutical drug corporation. It's like, oh, nothing to see here. It's like, it's open. It's right out in the open.
Right.
And when he talks about all that stuff in his book, you're just like, what, man? If this wasn't true, he would be sued. So it seems to be true. And it's a scary thing because people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to be attacked.
Agreed.
You know, they don't want to be called an anti-vaxxer. That's a big one.
Right.
You know?
So they
So this
say,
is the clip that prompted Donald Trump to.
so they keep, so they do not say anything because they are afraid of cancellation. Yep.
And go on to have these cushy jobs with the pharmaceutical drug corporation. It's like, oh, nothing to see here. It's like, it's open. It's right out in the open.
Right.
And when he talks about all that stuff in his book, you're just like, what, man? If this wasn't true, he would be sued. So it seems to be true. And it's a scary thing because people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to be attacked.
Yep.
You know, they don't want to be called an anti-vaxxer. That's a big one.
Falsely labeled.
You know?
Falsely
So
labeled.
this is the clip that prompted Donald Trump to write on his X account. We'll pop the verbiage up here. This is pretty much what Donald Trump wrote on X as a response to what Joe Rogan just said, that the video we just watched. He said it would be interesting to see how loudly Joe Rogan gets booed the next time he enters the UFC ring. MAGA 2024.
What?
Now,
Yeah,
here's my
DJT.
opinions on this real quick.
Yeah.
I think Donald
Crazy,
Trump
bro.
should sit
He
this out.
he tripped when he said that. He tripped. No hate for DJT. No hate for the Don DJT. Matt. Yo. Mad respect to DJT, bro. But he tripped when he said what he said to Rogan, bro. Yeah, you got DJT, he said
Here's my
F
opinions on this
it.
real quick.
He did not.
I think
DJT
Donald Trump
did
should sit this.
not give a solitary F. Yeah, DJT.
Here's my opinions on this real
He
quick.
bugged out all
I
the
think
way.
Donald Trump should sit this out.
Yes, he should.
I honestly think that
Agreed.
Donald Trump should not comment anything negative about Joe Rogan.
Facts.
I
It is emotive, emotional. It is not it is not judicious, prudent, sagacious, perspicacious, or smart to do this. It really isn't sagacious, perspicacious, prudent, or judicious to do this. It isn't perspicacious to do this. Logic must override emotion. Sagacity must override emotion. Perspicacity must override emotion. Prudence must override emotion. Judiciousness must override emotion. Sagaciousness must sagaciousness must override emotion. Perspicaciousness must override emotion. Perspicacity must override emotion. Logicality must override emotion. Logicality must override emotion. Logic must override emotion. Logic must override emotion. If emotion overrides logic, crazy things can befall you, bro.
Here's my opinions on this real quick. I think Donald Trump should sit this out. I honestly think that Donald Trump should not comment anything negative about Joe Rogan.
Facts.
I thought that Joe Rogan could have had the pendulum swing closer and closer in Donald Trump's direction.
Yep.
And now Joe Rogan has no choice but to hate Donald Trump even more.
Yeah.
Because he's suggesting that at Joe Rogan's venue, where people love Joe Rogan outside of politics,
Yes.
he's a commentator for
Yep.
the UFC and
Yep.
had a tremendous story
Yes.
with how he even got the position at the UFC. Close friends with Dana White. He has the biggest podcast in the world.
Yep.
And I think it wouldn't be fruitful to say something to cause a rift or a conflict.
It
I think
would
Donald
be
Trump could
dumb.
have said something that was more jokingly, like laughing, like, haha, that's
Yeah.
funny. RFK has no chance of winning. Or something of that nature, instead of saying, watch how much you get booed next time you go to his job, his profession, where he's excellent at. I just didn't think that was, I don't think this stuff is a good move. Donald Trump,
Facts.
in my opinion, will win handedly if he's above the fray.
Yeah.
That means that let influencers and surrogates and
Yep.
people argue back and forth about these points.
Yes.
Donald Trump is above the fray. He don't have to even talk on this stuff. All he should be doing is talking about policy.
Yes.
Policy, what you're going to do as the president, having a unifying message.
Yep. Key
Don't get
words.
into the rigmarole in the weeds with
The
these people.
goofy puerile,
Because a lot of people like
denunciatory, denigratory stuff. No, do not
Donald Trump is above
engage
the fray. He don't have to even
in
talk on this stuff.
puerile.
All he
Ish.
should be doing is talking
Please.
about policy. Policy, what you're going to do as the president,
Yes.
having a unifying message.
Yep.
Don't get into the rigmarole in the weeds
OT
with these
just
people.
cooked.
Because a lot of people like Joe Rogan.
Yep.
And people going to have to make a decision.
That is the incontrovertible truth. What OT just said is the incontrovertible truth.
In the weeds with these people. Because a lot of people like Joe Rogan. And people going to have to make a decision.
You allow emotion to override logic, crazy things can befall you. Crazy things can befall you.
Oh, I don't like Trump
So
no
be
more.
sagacious.
It's
DJT.
unnecessary. You
Yes.
should just retweet.
Indubitably.
Oh, I don't like Trump no more. It's underlying message. Don't get into the rigmarole in the weeds with these people. Because a lot of people like Joe Rogan.
Yep.
And people gonna have to make a decision. Oh, I don't like Trump no more. Or, you know, it's unnecessary. You should have just retweeted and laughed and said, hi, it's Joe Rogan. Or even put a laughy emoji or something in this post to make it seem like, yeah, I'm
At
cool with
the
this guy, I'm
end
just joking.
of his
I don't know who's advising Donald Trump. I don't know if anybody can advise Donald Trump. I don't know what the scenario is. And I love Donald Trump and I want him to win.
Yep.
He got my vote. He signed my hat. So I
Dope.
appreciate Donald Trump, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like somebody needs to say, Trump, you are gonna win everybody that loved you before, just about. There's a group of people that are on the fence, and there's a group of people that are losing hope in both sides. So
Yep.
Kamala has to be
Kamala.
controversial. She has to be far left. She's gonna have to take some radical, crazy
Kamala.
stances. She backed herself in a corner. She has nowhere else to go but radical. And she picked the VP that's radical.
Yep. Yep.
All Donald
Woke.
Trump has to do is sit back and say, I'm the adult in the room.
Yes.
When he was at that event with them ignorant black women, all he had to do is play the game. Like Barack Obama
NABJ
did. When he was at that event
in
with them ignorant black women,
Chicago.
all he had to do is play the game. Like Barack Obama did. When he was at that event with them ignorant black women, all he had to do is play the game. Like Barack Obama did.
Obama.
Like
Woke
Obama.
Obama.
A black woman say, you criticize Kamala Harris on the color of her skin. What he can say is, you know what? I have a lot of respect for black women. I think black women are the salt of the earth. A lot of successful, great black women.
Yep.
He can talk about the women that he's helped. He can talk about him being on Oprah Winfrey's show.
Yep.
He can just lambast about how wonderful black women are. However, Kamala Harris doesn't.
He said the wrong words. Lambast means to say negative, to say negative things about somebody, to harshly criticize, to bash, to deride, to denigrate, to castigate, to castigate, to deride, to harshly criticize, to harshly criticize, to deride. Yes.
You just lambast about how wonderful black women are. However, Kamala Harris doesn't represent those women. Kamala Harris ain't like them. They not like us. I'm surprised that y'all not saying that. Because Kamala Harris didn't even claim her heritage of being black until more recently. Yes, she went to HBCU. Yes, she plays the AKA. You don't have to be black to go to HBCU.
Facts.
You don't have to be black to play AKA.
Facts.
You don't.
Facts. The university is a historically black university, but all races can attend. The AKAs, the black, the soror AKA is a historically black soror. The AKA org is a historically black soror. The AKA org is a historically black soror, but that doesn't mean other races of chicks cannot pledge, aka all races of females can pledge, aka Delta, Zeta, Sig, Rho. All races of females, all races of females can pledge, aka Zeta, Sig, Rho, and Delta, aka Sig, Rho, Zeta, and Delta. They all races of females can pledge, aka Zeta, Sig, Rho, and Delta. Yes, all races of men can pledge the historically black frats, Alpha, Omega, Sigma, Kappa, and Iota. All races of men can pledge the historically black frats, Alpha, Omega, Kappa, Sigma, and Iota. Iota. They can pledge Alpha, Omega, Kappa, Sigma, and Iota. Yes. I know a Latino Kappa. I know a Latino Kappa. He went to Illinois State. He went to Illinois State. He went to Illinois State. I know a Caucasian Alpha. 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 He went to Illinois State also. Yes. All races can pledge these historically black sorors, and frats. All races can pledge these historically black sorors and frats. All races of females can pledge these historically black sorors. All races of men can pledge these historically black frats.
They not like us. I'm surprised that y'all not saying that. Because Kamala Harris didn't even claim her heritage of being black until more recently. Yes, she went to HBCU. Yes, she pledged to AKA. You don't have to be black to go to HBCU, and you don't have to be black to pledge AKA. You don't. I used to think you did until I went to University of Arizona. It has a Mexican AKA. Pledges to AKA. You don't have to be black to go to HBCU. You don't have to be black to pledge AKA. I used to think you did until I went to University of Arizona. It has a Mexican
OT
AKA.
just spoke the truth, people.
They not like us. I'm surprised that y'all not saying that.
K-Dot.
Kamala Harris didn't
K-Dot.
claim her heritage of being black until more recently. Yes, she went to HBCU. Yes, she pledged to AKA. You don't have to be black to go to HBCU.
Nope.
And you don't have to be black to pledge AKA.
Nope.
You don't. I used to think you did until I went to University of Arizona. It has a Mexican AKA. I said, how is that possible? I thought it was a black sorority. But regardless of that, what are we saying? Play the game.
Nobody is, no race, no non-black race is excluded, albeit these orcs are historically black orcs. No race is excluded, albeit these particular orcs are historically black orcs. No race is excluded. No race is excluded, albeit these particular orcs are historically black orcs.
I thought it was a black sorority. But regardless of that, what are we saying? Play the game. So therefore, when they soundbite you, they got to soundbite you saying that black women are the salt of the earth. You don't have to really believe it. I don't know. It's a game. You got to play politics. What are we even saying here? And so I think that Donald Trump can win on acting and behaving like that during the home stretch. Don't argue with Cardi B now. Don't argue with Megan Thee Stallion. Don't argue online with these celebrity types. You stay above the fray. You stay unified.
Be
you stay talking
sagacious.
about policies. That's the
Be
only thing
prudent.
anybody needs to hear from Donald Trump.
Be
Is policy, policy,
strategic.
policy, policy, policy. This is what I'm going to do when I become president. Here's all the things that I have done.
Yep.
Here's my track record. Here's my proof.
That should be the focus.
I don't get it. I disagree with Joe Rogan's stance. I mean,
Yes.
I think RFK ain't. But me and Joe Rogan don't see eye to eye on that. RFK is no better than any of these people. He just don't have a big infrastructure enough to attack people and do all that stuff. Nobody's listening to him. He can barely talk. Is he a brilliant guy? He's probably very smart.
Yeah.
I thought that Donald Trump and him on a ticket would be a good ticket. Would Joe Rogan have endorsed if Donald Trump had him on the ticket? I don't know.
Possible.
But if you talking about gun grabbing and censoring of speech, I have nothing. And you talking about that Fauci, and he's against that. But and you talking about the Green New Deal and all that stuff, I can't rock with you. I'm shouting. I can't rock with you. Have endorsed if Donald Trump had him on the ticket?
Possibly.
I don't know.
It is
But if you talking about
possible.
gun grabbing and censoring of speech, I have nothing. And you talking about that Fauci, and he's against that. But and you talking about the Green New Deal and all that stuff, I can't rock with you. I'm shouting. I can't rock with you. It's completely ridiculous to me. I'm a red blood Republican
Yeah.
that love this country.
Yep.
And I think we should have the freedom of speech.
Yes.
You should be able to say whatever you want to say.
Yes.
If it's racist, if it's prejudice, if it's you should be able to.
You are not fomenting harm. You should not be precluded from saying what you want to say. Does that mean there is freedom of consequences? No, but you have the freedom in this country to say what you want to say. You should not be precluded unless you foment harm. If you say another group of people should be harmed, deleted, axed, ended, you should be banned from that app. Yes. But if you just say hateful words or pejoratives, albeit execrable words, if you just say pejoratives, albeit execrable words, you should not be precluded. If you just say pejoratives, albeit execrable words, you should not be precluded. If you just say pejoratives, albeit execrable words, you should not be precluded. If you just say pejoratives, albeit execrable words, you should not be precluded. If you just say pejoratives, albeit execrable words, you should not be precluded from saying what you want to say. Just don't foment harm.
You should be able to say whatever you want to say. If it's racist, if it's prejudice, if it's you should be able to say whatever you want to say.
Yes.
And if I don't like it, I'm gonna say what I want to say to you.
Yes.
And if I don't like it and I don't want to talk to you and I don't want to hear what you say, I just don't listen to you.
Facts. People gotta cease the fragility, the softness, the fragileness. People gotta be more tough.
And if I don't like it and I don't want to talk to you and I don't want to hear what you say, I just don't listen to you.
People gotta. Some people they have to cease the fragility. They have to cease the fragility. They must cease the fragility. Facts. Fragileness is trash. Fragileness
and I think we should have the freedom of speech.
Indubitably trash.
If it's racist, if it's prejudice, if it's you should be able to say whatever you want to say. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna say what I want to say to you.
Words.
And if I don't like it and I don't want to talk to you and I don't want to hear what you say, I just don't listen to you.
Yep. Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Who do you think is wrong in this? I really want to hear from. I'm gonna go look at the comments. Who do you think is wrong in this? Do you think both of them are wrong, neither are wrong, or you think Joe Rogan shouldn't have said what he said? Do you think Trump shouldn't have, gave an opinion about this when he's so close to the election? Let me know. I'll see you on the next one.
Yo, let me know what y'all think. Candidly, bro. Let me know what y'all think. Candidly. Yeah. DJT, he tripped. He should not have done what he did. Yeah. Bruh. Yeah. It will cause more people certain people who F with DJT to stop rocking with DJT. It will cause certain people to stop rocking with DJT. Crazy, bro. Crazy, yo. DJT, he gotta be more strategic, sagacious. Focus on the policies. Focus on the policies. Do not engage in puerility, bro. Do not engage in puerility. Do not engage in goofiness, bro. Please. Yeah. Yeah, you must think before you act. Facts. Straight up. Bruh. EJT. You tripped. You tripped. No hate again, but you did not make a smart decision. 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 Focus on the policies.